morning, guys. I am Patty Elhoff, the author of Upcycle with Decoupage, and I'm going to show you how we can upcycle an old suitcase. This one's going to be a round suitcase. And I will be turning it into a pet bed. So here's what we'll need in order to get started. I'm also going to be using folk art visual texture paint. I don't even know if you can find this that easily. I can put a couple of links to it on my website. There's also something out there that you can get pretty easily called puffy paint. I'll put a few links to that. It says it's for fabric, but I've used it before on regular old projects, all of my decoupage projects. Another thing you might want to do is keep a piece of wax paper handy, because you'll want to practice with the puffy paint before you actually apply it. Unless you use it all the time and you're very good with it, it's a lot better to practice first. So I mentioned down here that if you need the instructions on how to line your suitcase, I did this for the first time, and I have full instructions, step-by-step instructions on my blog. I'm only going to do one side because as a pet bed, one side will never be seen, which will be the bottom. So the first step after you've cleaned it is I would paint everything, and I'm just going to start painting the whole thing with chalk paint. The suitcase is dry, and what I want to do is put a little bit of the glimmer mist on here, and I need a little bit of distance here because a little bit of this goes a long way. And I'm also going to spritz a little bit across my napkins. I haven't separated the napkins yet. Let's wait till these dry and then we'll start to decoupage. The napkin is now dry and I want to separate it. Make sure we just go down to the one ply. Also now would like to take this part of the napkin and not cut it, but I'm going to use my paintbrush and I'm just going to wet it. Sorry, I should have told you to keep a little cup of water nearby. And I'm going to take these edges off. I'm going to do the same thing along the bottom. I'm going to put some decoupage glue down, but before I put the decoupage glue on here, I'm going to take a piece of saran wrap that will be long enough to cover the whole napkin. Put that aside, and I'm going to add some decoupage glue. I'm going to place my napkin down, take my saran wrap and pull it tightly over what I just placed down and stretch it. And I'll move it in a couple of places. And now I'm just going to press down. We want to make sure the ends are down securely. Now as I pull back, with the camera, you'll be able to see that my napkin isn't long enough to cover this side. So I'm just going to take the other part of the napkin and just add a little bit more just to wrap around this side. And I'll add a little on this side. We'll let that dry. Don't worry if there's a little hanging over right now. We'll take care of that later. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Just wrap it around a little bit. Now, the surface is decoupage, but we would like to just let this dry for right now. I am not wild about some of the way that the glitter paint landed in certain areas. So what I'm going to do, and I find that happens with glitter paint, it comes out different each time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the chalk paint and I just want to lighten up some of these areas with the original chalk paint. I placed my wax paper over the surface and I experimented a little bit. The wax paper is not completely translucent, but you can see through it enough to see where your design is, where you would like to place the puffy paint or the 3D paint if you'd like to use it, and what kind of a design. You might want something just very simple, or you might want to get a little bit more ornate. I just want to add a few little elements to the top and bottom of this. And this is dry now, but I'm going to add a layer of decoupage glue because we want to cement everything down. So this will be before we put the 3D paint on. We'll put the another layer of decoupage glue over it, let it dry, and then add our 3D paint. You can use your nail file once everything's dry to file away any excess that you might have around your edges. Now I'm just going to add the decorative elements, let that dry, and then we're going to put our top coat on and we'll be all done. So there is our completed pet bed now that it's been top coated. And I'm going to try to get a picture of my little doggy inside of there, open on the floor, of course. But before I do that, I wanted to say thank you for subscribing. Please feel free to ask me any questions. Don't forget, most of these products are available over on my website at upcyclewithdecoupage.vpweb.com. The link is always in the description to my website if you want to ever go over and check out the blog or just find out some information on decoupage or projects or even look at some pictures. Feel free to go on over there. I have a Facebook page by the same name, Upcycle with Decoupage. Feel free to go on over and post pictures, ask questions, or just meet some of my other friends that are over there. And I will see you guys next week with another video. I hope you have a good one. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.